Traders, how are you? With Marcello, we got some news coming out of the great fatherland. The largest exchange of cryptos in the world, which is Binance, has just been banned from the UK. So this is I don't know. I did this video on the Spanish side, and again, I know a lot of you guys have been asking me to do a lot of more videos on the English side, which I will do. It seems to me, I don't know if you guys are noticing, I did this video talking about the risks of investing in Bitcoin. Not to say it's not going to continue going higher, not to say you can't make money with it, or Dogecoin or diarrhea coin or whatever altcoin you want to invest in. But it seems to me now that there's a situation where there's a little bit of a pickup in the interest of regulators and also governments. We had Bitcoin and cryptos hit a record high. They went from, Bitcoin was at what, 65K, 64K or so. It's gone down quite a bit, over 50% since the record high. And that was due in partly, obviously, we have to blame Elon Musk, the antagonist of the world now, and also China, because China decided to go ahead and close everything down when it comes to the miners in China. If you guys didn't know before, China actually had anywhere between 65 to 75% of the processing power of all the miners in the world. They kicked them all out. A lot of them are actually going to Texas, for example. And then now we had the report also about a month or so ago that the Department of Justice is investigating Binance due to the fact that they want to make sure that people are essentially paying their taxes. I'm summarizing that, but essentially that's what it's all about. And now we have the UK saying that they have on the 25th of June, which was, this video will come out probably on Tuesday, 25th of June, which is Friday, they're coming out saying that they're going to ban completely Binance, which, just looking at the numbers, I'm going to show you guys the actual regulation. This is the FCA page, which is the regulator in the UK. But this is just did a quick Google search or DuckDuckGo search, because I like my privacy. So notice here, Binance, I don't know what date this is on because it doesn't have a date. This is the volume of the last 24 hours. Notice the size of Binance compared to every other single exchange. It's just monstrously larger than the others. And this is actually status stuff. If I'm not mistaken, it's owned by Amazon. This, you can see, it's almost double the size of the next biggest one, which is ZG.com. And remember, we did just have a situation in South Africa where $4 billion was stolen from an exchange by two brothers, which doesn't only happen in emerging or third world countries. We had that happen with Quadriga in Canada as well, and they haven't recovered their money. So by far, Binance is the biggest crypto exchange in the world where people trade with. There's a great crypto that I can recommend that you guys get on, which is the like button coin. Definitely hit that because it helps a lot with the videos here on the algorithms. If you like the video so far, definitely hit that like button coin. So the Bitcoin overall in movement didn't really move that much. You can see here, this is the 25th. This is where the market kind of tanked overall, but notice it didn't really clear any lows. This is only a week. I'll change it to a month. You can see the 25th is right in here. So notice it didn't even take out any lows and then it recovered. So we didn't really have any significant movement on the Bitcoin front in terms of price. But it's really something that I thought was interesting because, I have always been a proponent where I love the idea behind Bitcoin. I love the fact that it's decentralized, but I would not go as far to say that it's going to be the new financial system. I wish it would be that way, because I think it's a lot better that we don't have, elites and bureaucrats kind of running things. But I don't think that's going to happen because the world is set up a certain way and the people who control things aren't going to allow things to change because they're going to continue to control things, right? I'm the proponent that the government coins are going to come in, the digital dollar, the digital euro. The central bank in Europe already registered the trademark digital euro. They already trademarked it. The yuan, digital yuan in China has already gone live as well. And so that's what I think is going to take over, and what I really think is going to affect is going to be the blockchain. And I hear a lot of the proponents of Bitcoin, the proponents of crypto saying, no, it can't be regulated because it's decentralized. Well, China just kicked out all the miners. They had meetings with the banking and the financial industry to reiterate to not offer any crypto services, right? To me, that's kind of a preemptive strike to make sure that everybody uses the yuan, their digital currency, rather than any other. India is passing a law saying that private people cannot own any cryptos other than the rupee coin, I'm imagining, right? The digital rupee. And then we have now the UK that's banning the biggest exchange in the world. And we have other situations where, it's kind of getting a little bit dicey. Not to say that it's not going to continue going up, not to say that you're not going to be able to continue making money with it. I just thought this was fascinating because this is what I always thought would be the end game, where if it's just going to be a financial asset where it's going to go up and down and it's just like a stock, that I think is not going to be a problem. But when I think there's going to be a problem is when Bitcoin or other cryptos start to compete with actual payment systems. And that's what we're starting to see now, right? We're starting to see that PayPal is accepting them and things like that. So notice here it says on the regulation that the firm without prior written consent by the FCA should carry out any regulated activities, which basically has to do with buying and selling cryptos and things like that. This one I thought was really interesting as well, which is what will, it'll be good to see on Binance's website what's actually going to happen with them by the close of the 30th of June. So this video is going to come out most likely on Tuesday, which is going to be the 29th. And so the 30th, which is Wednesday of this week, the firm must display in a prominent place on its website, Binance.com, and any other channels in social media, including but not limited to Binance mobile and desktop applications, a notice stating Binance is not permitted to undertake any regulated activity in the UK. So this is interesting because UK is not a very significant world power. It is one of the largest economies in the world, but it's slipped quite a bit to 8th place after, if I'm not mistaken, India, places like Brazil, I believe has the 7th largest economy in the world. But even though they're not very, I don't want to say very important, very influential when it comes on the world stage, they do still matter, and mainly also because they have one of the most important financial centers in the world, London. That's where basically it's the hub of Forex, right? The divisas. So it's something that I think is fascinating because, well, we had Bitcoin at 65, 64 record highs. Obviously, Elon Musk ruined it for all of us, but we also had the news that exacerbated the situation where we had the potential investigation of the Department of Justice. We had China cracking down on them as well. And now we have this news. So to me, in the whole history of Bitcoin, I haven't seen this kind of movement on the regulation front or governments kind of, going after terrorists and drug dealers and things. That's what they always say, right? So it's something to keep on the lookout because, okay, so the UK did it. So what? Binance as a whole is not going to stop functioning. They're still going to be a business. The UK doesn't have that very large of a population. I don't know it off the top of my head, but it would most likely be around 50 million, not even that, maybe as high as 60 or 70. So, they still have the rest of the world, but China is banning it, over 1 billion people. Then you have India, the United States. If they start doing things like this, then the question is, well, what's the value of Bitcoin when you can't sell it to another person because the governments aren't going to allow you to. You see what I mean? And this is actually something that was really interesting that Bill Gates talked about, which is called the greater fool theory. The greater fool theory is that the only reason why Bitcoin, and I'm not proposing this, I'm just stating to you what they said because this is a possible outcome that can happen. So the greater fool theory is, well, who are you going to sell your Bitcoin to if there's not a greater fool to buy it? See? So if Bitcoin has no value because governments are starting to shut it down, why are you going to even have it to begin with? I'm not saying that Bitcoin can't go up. I'm not saying that it's not going to make another record high. I'm not saying that you're not going to be able to buy and sell it. Again, I love the idea behind Bitcoin. I think the future is more on the blockchain level, which is the technology that Bitcoin actually uses. I look at them as two separate entities, two separate systems. A lot of people talk about them together, which is fine. But what's going to happen if there's a possible scenario where this could happen, where you could have another country then ban it? And it's interesting that things like this are happening when a country like El Salvador is actually legalizing Bitcoin. And now there's other countries as well that are coming on board. El Salvador, not a very big country, right? Not very important at all. They're probably doing it as a marketing tactic to be able to bring money into the country. The President Bukele even said that if 1% of the market cap of Bitcoin is invested in El Salvador, that's 16% or 10%, whatever percent he said of the actual economy. Now there's news that Costa Rica and Panama might accept it, Paraguay as well, all very tiny economies. Panama, I think, is a little bit interesting due to the fact that they're more of a financial hub. and even Mexico is starting to talk about as well. So it'll be interesting what happens. Let me know what you guys think about what's happening. Do you think it doesn't matter, right? Do you just think, well, it's just another one of these bureaucratic governments who's trying to shut it down, but it's still open. You're still able to do things. Or do you think that, have we actually seen a little bit more movement in this regulation front and other governments as well? So let me know your opinion there in the comments, especially you Bitcoin fanatics, because obviously nothing bad can ever happen to Bitcoin. So let me know what you think, good or bad. It'll be interesting to see that. If you have any questions, leave them with the hashtag #AskMarcello. It'll be easier to find that way. And also don't forget to subscribe here on the channel. We'll see you next time.